When you ask, "Hey God, it's me. Are you there? Can you hear me?" God is always listening. God is always assisting us on the journey. We're never really alone. How many times in your life have you sat down and said, "Hey God, what's up? Is it me? Are you with me? Am I alone?" There's a lot going on in the world, and things are happening, and I don't feel like I'm in control. And I don't know what to do next. Things are coming against me, and it's awful quiet. I'm really starting to wonder, did you miss my prayer? Did you miss my request? Are you with me? How am I going to get through this? The world is changing and things are shaking up, and dear God, I don't know what to do. I thought I knew what to do. I thought I had it figured out. And then something came when I least expected it, and it blindsided me, and here I am, not knowing what to do now. This isn't where I thought I'd be at this juncture of my life, this moment in time. And I thought I was a good person. I know I'm a good person, but hey, God, why is this happening to me? I don't think I deserve this. Am I being punished, God? Why is this happening? How can I find my way out of this? Do I need to pray more? Do I need to do more? Hey, God, are you listening? How many of you have found yourself in that moment, in that experience, asking those questions of God? And maybe literally saying, why me? Why me, God? Why do I have this affliction or this disease, this difficulty? Why am I financially challenged now? Why, God? Why me? Many of us find ourselves asking these questions often throughout life, not understanding how life took a turn that we least expected. Sometimes it's an unexpected death. And that unexpected death in our family just throws us for a loop. It sends us all spiraling. And then we come to this understanding that the family unit is not as big and as strong as we thought it was, because now not only is everyone falling apart, but they're at each other's throats. And they're fighting over the washing machine. What gives, God? How could this be? Or what about the question, how is it that I've put all my time, energy, and money into whatever it is you've placed your money in, the project, the home, an experience, just to watch it crumble? How many of you have felt like you've built yourself up only to have it all slip away again? Is God there then? Is God off on another part of the universe and not paying attention? How many of you ever have gotten mad with God? Felt this energy of disappointment that God failed you, that God forsaked you, that you really weren't being supported? We've had those moments in life where we've all felt alone. And the power that we have inside is to always stay connected. But we've been distracted by other things in the world, and we as humans think we have it figured out. Come on, if we went to school and we've gotten a job and we've done everything that checks all the boxes in life, why wouldn't we be happy? Why wouldn't things work out? But they don't. You can do all the right things and not get the results you want. And then you're left feeling like there's some dark cloud hanging over you. What's that about? Is it really there's a dark cloud, or is it that you didn't tune in and touch base when you really needed to, when you were making all your plans, and now you're 1,000 feet ahead of the God plan, and you're finding yourself in a dark forest because that's not where God would have put you at all? But you, we, us, in our human mind, we find ourselves just pushing in the direction of what we want. And because we analytically can figure out how to get there, we often don't include God in the conversation. And for those of us that do, we can include God in the conversation, we can pray, but we often mistake a signal from God as confirmation that, yes, this is what I'm supposed to do. I got a sign from God. But was it a sign, or was it your imagination and your ego wanting to make it be so you had permission to move forward? Lord knows we don't want to annoy God. Powerful force. But how many of you talk on a regular basis and have a thought process going on in your mind that's partially a conversation with God at all times? I know I hear people say they pray a lot. And I believe prayer is one of the most powerful tools we have. But if you're praying prayers of words that you don't understand, you're activating the power of those words, but it becomes challenging to implement it in your day-to-day life. And there are certain prayers that unlock the power of God instantaneously. But it's doing that and having a conversation with God. And asking the big questions. What is the meaning of my life? How can I shift where I am and go where I'd ideally love to be? Is the choice I'm making what's truly meant for me? Am I on the right path? Can I do what I desire, accomplish it, and be in the energy of the divine plan? You see, we have the resources, and most of us can accomplish almost anything we set our intention and mind upon. We have to ask ourselves the question, what is motivating us? What is bringing you to the power of wanting this outcome? What is leading you to want to end a marriage? What is causing you to not trust people? What is allowing you to continually repeat patterns of experiences and you find yourself in almost exactly the same spot again and again and again? And then you look up into the heavens and you say, why me, God? What is coming out of your mouth? What are you noticing in the environment around you? Are you always fixating on what everybody else is doing and what they're doing wrong and how they could do it better? Are you coming from this energy of a critical spirit? Are you coming from this energy of judgment? How are you viewing the world? Because whether you know it or not, these eyes you have, they are the eyes of God, and God sees right through your eyes into the soul of another. But we're too busy for all of that. Could you imagine if you're looking in the mirror and you see yourself and you get yourself all fixed up, you just brush your hair, you put your best clothes on, you groom yourself. Do you look at yourself and say, you look good. Wow, good. Which I want everyone to have that self-love, that appreciation for your physical body. But also, do you look in the mirror and say, thanks for looking at me, God. Greatly appreciate it. I see you. I know you see me. There's this flow of energy that's always going through you. It's just a matter of you tuning into that desired outcome and staying in alignment with God at the same time, which is not an easy task because we haven't been trained. We've been trained to multitask. We've been trained to problem solve. We've been trained to follow routines that are in alignment with what goes on in the world. But we really haven't been trained to be on the marathon with God, This is a lifelong marathon we are on. And we're going to need to take breaks, and we're going to need the rest. But we are on a journey. It does not end. And it's not just limited to this lifetime. It incorporates multiple lifetimes. There is a continuum of time of the soul. How do I feel? How do I look at this moment? What is my mindset? And what in the past has shown me what I need to know now, and what is now going to do to my future? Everything you think, everything you do, everything you say is creating tomorrow. There is no getting around it. And the today you live is the product of yesterday, which is compiled of all your thoughts, your words, your actions, your fears, the power of suggestion of others, and then the routines and the patterns that are not even aligned with you, but you're just doing them because that's what you're supposed to do. Can we wake up in the morning and say, hey, God, it's me. What would you have me do today? Hey, God, divine God, I am here before you. Mold me, shape me. Let me be the instrument of the energy that you are in everything I do and I say, and if this, during this day, and every action that I take. Let me feel the flow. Let me be one with the journey. You have the power. You have the ability to always be lined up. But because early on we fell into a trap of separation, it's a trap. It's nothing more than a trap. We're told we're born into this beautiful, fabulous tribe of family. How's that working for you? Some of you are fortunate enough to have a fabulous family. Others, not so fortunate. But you're born into this environment and you're passed on to this tribe of people that are supposed to take care of you and give you all the resources you need. But you tell me one human being that on a regular basis sat down with their 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-year-olds and sat there and continually said to them every morning, I want you to check into God. Yes, we may teach them to do their morning prayer and their evening prayer, but they're just doing that because you told them. They're just doing that because they're repeating words like a parrot. And later on, they'll develop a relationship. But that relationship in the physical form begins the minute they're born, and you are the steward of the little one. You're the keeper, the caretaker, the guider. So many times did your parents and your grandparents sit you down and say, every morning I want you to have a conversation with God and say, hey, God, it's me. I'm ready for the day. What surprises do you have for me? What do you want me to look for? And how can I see you and find you in everything I do every day? And how can I best represent you today, God? A force of energy that can create an entire universe. You're my buddy. You're my sidekick. You're my flow of energy. And with you by my side, I can do anything. But we will have a family dynamic that tells the child they're stupid, they're not smart enough, they're not good enough, they're not pretty enough. Sit down, be quiet. Children are seen, not heard. We have many examples of those. And I'm not saying no one has ever said to daily talk to God with a conversation. But it's not the norm. It's not in the checklist of things we do with our little one. How do we create this energy of this alignment with the divine at all times that never wavers? We're never forsaking God. We're always lining up with God, and God has never forsaken us. Hey, God, it's me. Your child, your expression of energy in the physical form in my own unique way with my own personality and my own talents. Assist me, help me find the way to stand into the destiny of what you have for me. And give me the patience and the tools to arrive there with ease and grace. And to not allow the words and the intentions and the division of others to impact me. Not allow them to disrupt me. Allow me to stay strong and believe that I can do anything. You see, there's a power in all of you. And this power is that connection that is always present. So wherever you are in the journey of life, whatever the juncture may be at this moment that has you saying, hey God, it's me, or why me? It's time for you to say, I am the expression of God in motion, therefore I can do anything. And whatever this situation or problem is that appears before me, there is a resolution that is most likely outside the scope of what I have been conditioned to know. And so I surrender for that information to be presented to me so that I can be accepting of it and I can learn to let things go. I don't need to hold on to things that aren't working for me. I don't need to hold on to people who aren't working with me. And I most certainly don't want to be around people who are working against me. It's a time for us all to really take a good look and realize your number one best friend is the divine. And your angels and your guides. And that people are all on the same path, putting one foot in front of the other, just like you, trying to figure it out, and most of them are as wounded as you may have been, or maybe still are. So how are we going to take advice from that person? We have to develop the conversation with God and trust that the universe has your back. Tonight, we're going to answer your questions at 866-972-7247. We're going to journey through what you would love to say to God. And we're going to drum up the energy so that we can begin to shift how people interact with the divine, with each other, and their relationship on a daily basis, so that we're no longer on the outside looking in. We are always at the right place at the right time and totally one with the divine.